Hi guys, so I am sitting here on this rainy day. I don't know if you can hear the rain behind me, but it's like a monsoon right now. I'm sitting here, and yesterday I did a video on why the boys are so close in age. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. And then whenever I see somebody in person, they usually ask, like, how on earth did we do it? And I think they mean, like, how did we survive with two small babies? And to be honest, when I answer that question, I always say I have no idea because I really don't. For the first year of Robert's life, I actually had postpartum depression and did not know it. He had just turned 1, and I had a physical, just a routine yearly physical. And my doctor had asked how it had been going because she hadn't seen me since right after I had Robert. And I kind of told her how I was feeling, and she had me do this little self test about depression. And she pretty much asked me how long that I had been feeling like this, and it had been off and on for the first year of Robert's life, but the few months leading up to Robert's last first birthday had been really worse. And she said that it was postpartum. It came back. I did not know this, but you can actually get postpartum depression up to the 1 year mark of your child's birthday. So, of his first year, obviously. And I did not know that. So I was put on medication, which did really help. But when I look back to that first year, I really wish I had known ahead of time, and I really wish somebody had said it to me. So now, whenever I see a mom, especially a new mom, I always ask them how they're doing. And I don't mean like, how is your baby doing? I always ask them how they are mentally doing. Like, are you doing okay? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Because for me, I was very overwhelmed and very tired, which are signs of depression. But let's face it, if you don't know, I had a 10 and a half month old and a newborn. Jeffrey and Robert are 10 and a half months apart. So, needless to say, I was very busy, very tired because Jeffrey, my oldest, did not sleep through the night consistently until he was 2 years old. So, needless to say, I really wasn't sleeping very much. And then I had a newborn, and it was overwhelming. Let's face it. I mean, nothing can prepare you for that. I actually was a nanny before having kids. I nannied for twins and triplets, so the multiple part of it wasn't a problem for me. I didn't mind having several kids at once. So for me, like, I could prep really well, and I kind of knew how to handle, I knew I wanted them on the same schedule and, that kind of stuff. But nothing can prepare you for this. It was very hard. I look back at Robert's first year, and I honestly don't remember most of it, and it's really sad. I get really upset when I see some pictures on Time Hop or some things I may have posted. I don't remember them, and I really wish I could go back and just change the way everything was. I wish I had caught on earlier. I wish somebody else had caught on earlier. But to be honest, I was alone from 7 o'clock in the morning until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So I was home all day with the boys. We only have one vehicle, so therefore I was stuck home with both boys. So I didn't really get out much. I mean, if I went for walks, that's that's kind of all I could do. So that was how my life was Monday through Friday. It was very tough. I was very overwhelmed. I was very tired. So by the time, my mom or my husband got home at night, yeah, I was tired and very overwhelmed and very emotional because, let's face it, I had two small children. So that's why, for me, the postpartum went on so long, because we really just thought I was overtired and very overwhelmed, as I should have been at that time. It was very, very hard. So for me, I feel like anybody who's like, oh, I want to have Irish twins, I think it would be so cool to have my kids so close in age, really, really think about it. And I really hope that you have help, because it's really hard. It's still hard today. And I mean, Robert's going to be 2 next month, and Jeffrey's going to be 3 in May. So for me, it's easier, but it's harder in different ways. Granted, yes, I'm not up all night with them. We're not, they're both mobile, which is nice. So now I'm not carrying everybody everywhere. I mean, when I tell you, like, your body gets so ruined by having kids so close in age. First off, With Jeffrey, I never actually got the pregnancy hormones out of my body before getting pregnant again, because I had Jeffrey, I breastfed for a month, and then 2.5 weeks later I got pregnant. So there was really no leeway on hormones. And so after having him, after having Robert, my hormones were shot. It took a really long time for me to physically feel like I was in control of my own body. And I want to say I didn't get that way until Robert was about 18 months old. So not maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I really started feeling like I was in control of my body again. It was really hard. My body took a toll. I actually had to go get massages. So I know you're thinking, ooh, that sounds nice. They were literally very painful because my back was so shot from having to carry 2 children around. Sorry, tickle in my throat. So it does take a number on you, both physically, mentally, emotionally. It's all of the above. It takes a strain on your relationship too with your spouse. Thankfully, my husband and I have a great relationship. So, when we would get snippy with each other because, I'm overtired or I feel like I don't have enough help, but I'm taking it out on him and he's getting frustrated because he's working to provide for us, he feels like there's nothing much more he can do. It really does take a toll on you, and you just really have to sit back. And when we would get to that spot, it would be like, okay, you know what, we need a break. So it is very hard. I personally do not advise you to have Irish twins on purpose. Ours was an accident. But yeah, when people ask me how my first, how I survived, I don't know. I really wish I was like videotaped the whole time, because I would love to go back and see how it happened, because I really don't know. Even today, I mean, there's days I go, I don't know how I do it. It's crazy, crazy. They are just so busy. And I don't know if it's just boys, but my boys are super busy. They don't stop. Seriously, Jeffrey was running around the dining room table for like a half an hour this morning, and I have no idea why. So much energy built up, and I mean, he hadn't been. It was before nap, so he was exhausted. But yet he's running laps in the dining room. So for me, having Irish twins, it was very hard. Actually, a couple months ago, my husband jokingly asked. We were just sitting down. I think the boys were being crazy and driving us nuts. And he goes, "Hey, when we try for our next baby, you want to do Irish twins again?" Literally with a dead serious face on his a serious look on his face. And I looked at him dead in the eyes. I almost wanted to smack him, and then he started giggling. He was like, "I'm just kidding," because seriously, for us, it was a lot. We were not ready for this in any way, shape, or form. And now, looking into the future, and when we do decide to have a third child, which is not anytime soon, I really want to make sure that I can relax, because I feel like both of my pregnancies I didn't enjoy it like I should have. With Jeffrey, I was taking care of my father, and then with Robert, obviously I had Jeffrey, so I had 2 small little babies. So my body was really shot. And like I said, did I even go to did I talk about the massages? Oh my gosh, I'm so all over the place. So if I did, I know I mentioned the massages, but anyways, when I went to go get them, I had to have 3, I think they were 6 weeks apart. And yes, they were really nice, but they hurt so bad. And the women that were doing them, they could not believe how messed up my back was. I probably do need to go to a chiropractor, because it still hurts. From carrying babies around and from being pregnant. I mean, I went through a whole pregnancy where I had to carry a child around. I mean, Jeffrey wasn't mobile. So my back was shot. So your body really does take a toll. So I just don't think it's a good idea. But I think it's funny when people go, "Oh my God, how did you do it?" They really I know that they're just curious, but when I tell them I honestly have no idea, they look at me dumbfounded, because I really don't. And I have to tell them, I have not much memory of that time because I was so depressed. So 2 things I want you to take out of this. 1, I do not advise you to have Irish twins. Give your body a break. And then, I mean, if it's an accident, obviously accidents happen, but if you can prevent it, do, because it's just crazy. And 2, if you do have a new mom in your life, make sure you check in on them and see how they're doing, and not just, "Oh, do you need something?" Really ask them, how are you feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed? I have a friend who has a baby, and she actually had a ton of help those first few weeks, yet she was feeling extremely overwhelmed, and all she was doing was feeding the baby. Like it ended up that she did have postpartum depression, but because I had it and I was checking in with her daily, and so was everyone else around her. My husband was actually living with them at the time, and he even said to her husband, "Look, I think she has it. She's acting like Erin was." We were able to get her diagnosed quickly, and now she's fine. But she even said to me, she goes, she's like, "I don't remember those weeks before she went to the doctors because she literally was just so depressed." And that's how it is. And so I really just want you to take out of this that do check in on new moms and just make sure they're doing okay. Not, we do want to help, and I'm not saying don't ask them if they need help, but also make sure you're asking how they are mentally doing, because it is something that we really don't think about asking. And it's really, really important that new moms know that you're not alone, and that a lot of us have gone through the postpartum depression, and that we've been treated and we're better. And it's not a sign of weakness that you have it. A lot of people get it. I was actually shocked when I looked at the statistics. I can't remember any of them, but it was a shocking number on how high a lot of people have it. And a lot go undiagnosed because they don't want to admit that they have it. And I don't know why. And it's not like I was naive to it. I really just thought some of the symptoms were just because I was tired and overwhelmed, which made sense. But looking back, I really wish I had gone earlier, because I think it would have made me a better person, and maybe not so stressed as I was, because I was very, very stressed. But yeah, I mean, now having Irish twins, as the boys are older, I think it's a great thing. In our situation, it's a very monkey see, monkey do. Robert likes to do everything Jeffrey does. So schedule-wise, they're on the same schedule. And actually, we are going to be starting in a little over a month. We're going to start to potty train. Jeffrey is kind of ready. I think he is ready to go. Robert is actually, I think, more ready. So we are actually going to potty train them at the same time, which I think will be great. Someone had babies out of diapers at the same time, which I'm super excited. So in that way, it's nice. And otherwise, it's kind of hard because Robert wants to do everything Jeffrey does. Obviously, he clearly can't do everything Jeffrey does. He, when we're like at the playground, he wants to, climb up these tall things that Jeffrey can do without even thinking because he's taller, and Robert gets upset because he can't do it. In other ways, in the fall, Jeffrey will start preschool, and I know that Robert is going to want to go, and but obviously he's still kind of young, but a lot of the churches around here actually do preschool programs for kids his age. So I'm actually looking into putting him into one, because I think he's going to be very upset that he can't go to school and won't really understand why Jeffrey gets to go and he doesn't. So we're going to put him into school, which will be nice. I think he's really going to enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, I think moving on, I feel like having kids so close in age, it will get better. It was really nice because they were born at the same time of year. Like, clothes have been used over and over again, which is nice. So hand-me-downs are great, and it was like, they're into the same things. They play with the same toys now, so that's nice. But it's still hard because they're so close in age. Like, they fight over things. We had a biting incident this morning. It's just. But I think any siblings are going to be like that, but I feel like it's magnified because they're so close and they just don't understand like certain things. Like, they really are not the same age, even though they do act like it sometimes. But yeah, so I hope this helped you. I hope maybe it answers some questions. If you do have any questions, and I can remember the answer to, because if it was about that first year, like I said, I really don't remember most of that year. I can try to answer them, but please put them in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.